Last week we had a positive case with a staff member, and then from there on in we've managed to obviously kind of restrict and contain. And this week we've actually had a couple of positive cases within the player group. But again, because we've been living through these times for the last 2.5 years, we've been able to have still a really good kind of planning week. We've managed to minimise disruption. I was also at the Rangers game last night. So again, I still feel like at this moment in time, we've got a healthy squad to choose from. We're excited by the game at the weekend. And the couple of positive cases that we've got are very similar to what we've had in recent times, even just as close as the recent international break just before we closed down. So it's almost been business as usual for us this week.
Just on that then, so 2 positive cases. Will you be continuing to do testing? Is there a chance you have to check on more tests, or does anyone else have to self-isolate being close contacts?
No, and obviously contained within those couple of cases, we had to amend the training time today just to wait on PCR tests being completed, and we were able to train this afternoon as normal. So again, I know there's been a lot of speculation. Speculation is obviously something that's external to what it is we're doing here. So again, there has been a little bit of minor disruption to the training and having to get people PCR'd and awaiting test results, etc. But it's almost par for the course now. So again, just at this stage now on Thursday afternoon, excited for the game at the weekend. Yeah, I can understand the question, and look, we live in very judgmental times these days, because I think we're 2.5 years into a pandemic, and what's right for one person is wrong for another. And I think every single decision you take within a football club just now almost has to have an element of crisis management consideration. So I think we're already in that mindset, and within that mindset, there's obviously mitigating circumstances like, do we allow them to go? Yes, no, we allowed them to go. Then we obviously provided transport to actually minimise mingling on public transport. We knew the itinerary of the players, we knew where they're going. And this is actually kind of flippant remark, but kind of partly true as well. Players aren't actually the beer monsters of 20 years ago. I mean, I know as a manager, I'm not going to get all the reports of what the players are up to, but I certainly know that there was a congregation watching the Formula One. So I was actually partly disappointed to hear that was as much as the shenanigans that they were up to. But look, I can understand from a moral and an ethical perspective when these questions are asked. But on the same token, again, from a personal perspective, I was at the Christmas market with my family last week, mingling amongst hundreds of people. I actually seen 3 of our players there with their wives and girlfriends mingling. So these cases can come in Newcastle, they can come in Edinburgh, and also we also had that positive COVID case within a staff member last week. So potentially there's different ways that this virus could obviously be transmitted, but I think we are quite content that we put in mitigated, arrangements for the players to be protected, yet still actually have a bit of downtime, which they don't actually get a lot of, as you know. We've got best, worst, most likely case scenarios every single week that you've always got to factor in. Also recently, I think about 2 months ago, we appointed Luigi Capiano, who pretty much wrote the guidelines for the JRG. So again, we have a lot of expertise within the club. We're always trying to be ahead of the what ifs. Sometimes that's not possible because virus, particularly the current variant, I'm led to believe is easily transmissible. So we're trying to do everything that we possibly can to actually protect the players, to keep a healthy squad available to us, but actually still also remember that we're running a football club with human beings who need to have a life as well. So I think that we're trying to factor all of these different things in when we're making big decisions at the football club.